What's your problem?
Hey man,
Why are
I'm
you
sorry.
staring at me?
I'm sorry, man. I'm
What?
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hi guys, my name is Matt Numrich, and today we're going to go ahead. We're going to cover verbal de-escalation and a violent altercation. You know, if you take a look at most self-defense situations, a lot of them should be settled verbally, and a lot of them are settled verbally. You know, if we go ahead and we talk to our law enforcement friends, we know that so many more altercations are kind of finished and taken care of verbally than ever get physical. So we need to make sure that in our arsenal we have verbal de-escalation skills and we practice those. We want to simplify them as much as possible. And I like to go ahead and really focus on 4 quick little steps. When we have somebody go ahead and come up to us in a threatening way, maybe talk to us, yell at us, point their finger, call us names, whatever it is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a couple steps back. Now, why is that so important? It's so important that we make sure that we have extra distance to give us better reaction time. Remember, just because they're verbal doesn't mean they're not going to get physical. And because we have that threat, we need to make sure that we back on up and give ourselves some extra time, extra space right here in order to react and make the best decision, whatever it may be. So the first step is to go ahead and to back on up. The second step that we go ahead and we do is we put our hands up. Now, when we put our hands up, we don't put them up in a way just like this. We want to de-escalate the situation first. In order to do that, we go ahead and we put our hands up. This is a little bit more of a submissive, kind of cooperative kind of position right here as compared to something like this. So we want to go ahead and we want to put our hands up, and we want to go ahead and have that flow into the third step. The third step is going ahead and de-escalating somehow. Now, my go-to move is always to go ahead and just apologize. Hey man, I'm sorry. Apologize for whatever he thinks I'm doing. He thought I did. If I bumped into him, if he thinks I was looking at maybe his wife or his girlfriend when I wasn't, whatever it may be, we want to go ahead and we want to make sure that after we put our hands up, after we've obviously gained some space, we say something that makes sense. Going to I'm sorry is a quick little thing. If you want to make it a little bit more descriptive, a little bit more specific to whatever the situation may be, that's going to be just as important as well. Let's go ahead and let's go through the first 3 out of the 4 steps. First thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to back on up. Second thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to put our hands up. And then the third thing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to reply. We're going to reply with something apologetic. We want to de-escalate the situation. Now the 4th step is saved for this person who goes ahead and makes a lunge at us, or at least acts in a little bit more threatening way. If we're de-escalating and they are escalating the situation or the intensity, we might need to go ahead and to get into a little bit more of what I call a defensive stance. A defensive stance, I have a separate video on that, but let's go over a quick little review on that. First thing is we want to go ahead and get into a bladed stance. Second thing is we want to bend our knees. And then the third step is we want to go ahead and we want to put our hands up. So we're going to go from this kind of thing right here. We're just trying to de-escalate the situation, but if we need to pop on down to a defensive stance just like this. So the 4 steps, once again, is to go ahead and to gain distance. We want to go ahead, put our hands up. We want to say something de-escalating, and then last but not least, if by chance the person wants to continue to escalate the situation, we're going to go ahead and get into a defensive stance just like this. What I really want to encourage everybody to do is make sure we put time in practicing this stuff. You know, going ahead and just watching this video is not going to just inherently give you guys skill. So the cool thing is we're going to be able to role play in this. So if I have Richie come on up here, let's say, and he goes ahead and he puts a finger in my face and he said, hey man, what's up? Or, you know, what's your problem or whatever. I want to first of all go through my steps. I'm going to back on up right here. I want to put my hands up. I want to say something and say, hey, listen, man, I apologize. If I was bothering you, I apologize. If on the other hand, if he's saying something like maybe, I bumped into his car or whatever, I want to say, hey, man, I'm sorry. Let's go take a look at it. Let's take a picture at it. Or, I can give you my insurance card, whatever it may be. But we want to de-escalate, the situation. If he accuses me of something, it doesn't mean that I can go ahead and, say I didn't do that. You may be able to do that, but we don't want to do it in an aggressive way. You can apologize and then once again, create a situation where we find a solution that's de-escalating the situation right here. So as we go through the steps, he's being aggressive, he's saying something, I want to back on up. Gaining distance is the first step. Next thing is I want to put my hands up just like this. Okay, I want to go ahead and offer some kind of solution, some kind of apology, talk to the person back. Remember, if I go ahead and I just say nothing, it's probably just going to piss this guy off. I want to address whatever his problem is. But then last but not least, if he goes ahead and he puts his hands up, or if he continues to come on in, I want to get into that defensive stance. There has to be a limit at some point where I start defending myself. I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm not ready for him to go ahead and get physical with me right here. So going through the 4 steps, if he goes ahead, comes up on me, he's saying something, pointing in my face, wherever it may be, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna back on up, put my hands up, I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna apologize, I'm gonna find a solution, whatever it is. And then last but not least, if he continues to come on in, man, I can go ahead and get into my defensive stance. Defensive stance, good bladed stance, knees are bent, hands are up just like this. Now from this standpoint right here, people may ask, what's the next step? What are you doing? Well, either one or two things are going to happen. The person's going to go ahead and just kind of relinquish their intensity. They're going to put their hands down. Maybe you did find a solution. If you really did accidentally bump into someone's car, well, guess what? You need to take out your insurance card, take pictures of what's going on, whatever it may be. You know, if you took the person's seat by accident, offer them your seat, and then get up and find another seat. Whatever the solution is, we want to de-escalate the situation. Why am I spending so much time on this right here? Because it's a smarter thing to go ahead and de-escalate the situation than dealing with the legal issues or even ethical issues of getting physical with someone. I understand at some point we got to go ahead and we got to stand up for ourselves. We need to go ahead and put a stand so the person's not pushing us around. We can do so in a nice, calm and composed way, focusing on solutions, focusing on de-escalating, as opposed to puffing out our chest, just escalating the situation and getting into a physical altercation that didn't need to happen in the first place. So as we go through this, let's go through this again. Richie is up here. We want to go ahead back on up. Hands are up right here. Offer apology, offer a solution, wherever it may be, and then going from right here. Like I said, if he does not de-escalate the situation, if he does not lower the intensity, then we get right into the self-defense skills that we continuously practice over and over again. You know, so from right here, we can go ahead and we can strike first if we see that that's the opportunity and if the situation may call for it, or we're gonna go ahead and defend ourselves and then go ahead and counter back with whatever kind of defensive tools that we need to do. The focus here is to make sure that we go through several kinds of different kinds of situations and different kinds of environments. So we can go ahead and educate ourselves. Hey, listen, what is the best kind of solution? What's the best kind of thing to say back to this person? How many times do I apologize before I might get physical? Whatever it may be. The more we practice, the more educated we are. The more we practice, the better our training gets. So have fun with this. Other than this, please go ahead and check out the description right here. We have some things we want to tell you guys about, some upcoming videos. Other than that, you guys take it easy and we'll talk to you guys soon.
What's your problem, man? Why are you looking at my girl?
Hey man, I want to make love to you.